Now I want to talk about the steps, the exact steps that I actually took to go out there and validate my idea and get my first client for UAbility. So step number one, I made a list of all the problems that I could think of that my clients actually had. Just by talking to a lot of my friends and colleagues, as I mentioned before, I had learned that there are a lot of problems. A lot of Indian business owners didn't know how to, do sales properly, how to negotiate, how to do marketing, how to deliver their clients amazing results, and this was a very big problem. And what I did was I made a list, and I made sure that I'm covering all those areas and nothing is actually missed out. So they need help with sales, I wrote that. They need help with marketing. They don't know how to get clients. They don't know how to fulfill clients. I basically made a list of all those things, and I made sure that I'm not looking at just anybody. I didn't target manufacturers or anybody. I just thought that, hey, what have I done in the past? Well, I've provided services and advice in the past, so let me just find people who are similar to me and just try to help them out, right? So that's what I did. I narrowed down to a specific market and made a list of all their problems. So that's step number one, make a list of the problems of your target market. Step number two, what I decided to do is I made a list of all the skills that I had. So over time, and this is one important key lesson for you if you're watching this, one time will come when, everything could be stripped away from you. Like money could be gone, money could be taken away, your house, your car, or whatever you flaunt about could be taken away from you. But one thing that won't be taken away from you are your skills. Okay, that's why you must have heard a lot of successful entrepreneurs say, hey, if they take everything away from me, I'll be back in the game within no time because I have the skills. Okay, so just don't take away my skills. So that's exactly what happened. I made a list of all my skills, and I wrote down that, hey, I know how to run ads, I know how to do marketing, I know how to do a little bit sales, I know how to do delivery fulfillment, I know how to do coaching. Sales, I was all right at it. I would say like average, but I wasn't like great at it. I mean, nowhere close to what I am today. So that's like one skill that I highlighted in red, and I was like, okay, this is something that I really need to work on because it's not just going to benefit me, but my clients as well. So yeah, like step two, just make a list of all the skills that you have. And then step number three, what I did is I decided, okay, there are so many ways to actually reach out to the marketplace, right? You can do webinars, you can do WhatsApp class, you can do upsells, downsells, and all those different kind of funnels that are out there, book funnels, right? I decided to keep things simple because thankfully I had been part of the industry before, so I realized that what works is keeping things simple. So here's a business lesson for you. If you want to do anything, if you're about to start any project, make sure it's simple. If it can't be documented on one page, it's too complex. So that's what I did. I decided to take my computer, right, and I just decided to put down some slides, created a 30-minute video that literally explains who I am, what I do, and how I can help these people who I'm trying to target, which was anybody in India selling advice or services looking to get clients globally. So that's what I did, and honestly, I'm not going to lie to you, at that point my market was so specific. I wasn't even going after coaches or anyone. I was going after only marketing agency owners. So that's how specific I was. And I basically created a 30-minute video that explains what I do and how I can help them. Recorded it, took me less than one day, got a new domain name called it UAbility.in, built it on a WordPress website. I think total cost was around 2,000 rupees or $35, and launched my website, and I was good to go. Now, once my website was launched, and once my video was there, now the next thing comes, how do I actually get traffic to it? And then the next thing that I did was step number 4. I made a list of all the different ways of marketing that will allow me to reach to my target audience. Now, there are a lot of people out there who say that, hey, you should only do videos, or you should only do audio, or you should only do podcasts or ads or whatever, right? And the reason why they say that is because they're trying to make money out of that particular project. So I literally don't care about it, or I just ignore them, right? So what you need to do is you need to identify what are you good at, right? Are you good at making videos? Are you good at speaking or audio only, right? So if you're good at videos, go with YouTube. If you're good at podcast, start a podcast, right? I personally, I was good at ads and data, right? So I knew how the numbers work, how to the ad interface and everything work. And I knew if I could spend 1 rupee, I had a little bit confidence because of my past that I could actually make that 1 rupee into 2 rupees, 3 rupees, or even more, which thankfully I was able to do. So that's what I decided to do. Created a Facebook page. I'm not going to lie to you, created a logo and all that stuff from canva.com, pretty simple to do, and just launch some ads, right? And the ads were sending traffic to that 30-minute video that I had recorded. And with that 30-minute video, below that, there was a small button which allowed people to book a call with me and talk to me. And that's what I did. So, that's how I started getting traffic. And then step number 5, I started doing calls with them. Now, I wanted feedback from my clients instantly. I didn't want to do a whole webinar and, wait, to actually get feedback. If I wanted to fail, I wanted to fail fast so that I could learn from my market and actually improve upon my product or service and my offer so that I could actually bring out something better to the marketplace, right? And most people, they try to actually go about doing these gimmicks and if their webinar doesn't work, they're like, oh, it's because there wasn't a timer, or there was not a timer in my webinar. That's the reason why my webinar didn't work. That's absolutely crazy. So what I did is I got people on a call. I was talking to them, and I was literally doing WhatsApp calls from UK to India because I was too, cheap to actually, invest in the international calling SIM card. And that's like one, I don't know, lesson that you want to take away. Be a banya, right? That's like and do jugaad, right? I don't know if you know these words, but basically try to actually get something done as efficiently and effectively as possible, especially when you're starting out in the early days. Now, this is a very tiny example, but I hope it tries to put the point across, right? So that's what I did. I started generating calls, and I remember the first person who had booked this call with me, his name was Sovik. And Sovik, I decided to ring him up on WhatsApp. And Sovik, if you're watching this, love to you, man. Thank you for believing in me, because you're not going to believe what happened. Like, this was like a miracle, or I don't know, you call it luck or whatever, makes sense. I wouldn't call it luck because I think it was like the years of hard work that went into this. So what happened is I picked up the phone and talked to Sovik. And rather than doing that, what other people do, hey, please buy, I sat down and understood what problem Sovik had. So he told me that, this is my problem, and I'm not able to get clients, and whatever things he said. It happened a long time ago. I don't remember the exact words, but I remember at the end telling him that, okay, I think I can help you out. So I'll do this step 1, step 2, step 3, or whatever, right? And I'm not kidding. On the call itself, I invented the name and called it UAbility Elite. And Sovik was like, all right, let's do it. And I was like, oh, you want to do it? You want to actually move forward? And he's like, yeah, let's do it. And I was like, okay. So I had created this payment link on InstaMojo. I just sent it to him. And, he signed up and he paid me. And it's not like I charged him like 1,000, 2,000 rupees. It was a good amount. And like, it was great. Like, I was like, what just happened, right? I just converted somebody to actually believe in my hypothesis. And from so on and so forth, further, as I went on into the journey, I got more clients and just started helping them. And please note that one important thing, I didn't have, what I was selling to Sovik ready. All I had was like the first probably lecture or first slides that I was about to share with him ready. The other things, they were still in under construction mode, and I didn't want to create them because I wanted real-time feedback of Sovik and other clients like such that will allow me to create material that they would be able to understand, and as a result, they would be able to get results. Now, that's what I did for coaching, and I used a similar principle when I was, providing services as well. Rather than like hiring people and doing all that stuff, I would rather try to come up with the most cost-efficient option and try to help my client first and try to sell them before actually building. And there's an important reason for this, because in the past, I've made the mistake of, creating these huge brands with like the best colors, best watermark, best logo, and then when I launched them, turns out nobody bought anything. So I've learned, by now, like I live with the principle: get your product to the market fast, test it fast, and see if it sells. Okay, don't focus on recording your courses or hiring people or building that team or that logo or that website. Nobody cares. Stop procrastinating, go out, get to the market and sell, right? And then the last step that I want to talk about is deliver outstanding results. Okay, now this is something that most people miss out on. So I remember once I had signed Sovik, right, and once I had like other clients, I would do everything possible to make sure that they get results. Like I remember this client that I had in my early days. His name was Anand. Well, not was, but still is, right? And I remember he had quit his job and went like all in, and I was like, oh my god, now I have not only my life but the life of these people as well to take care of, right? And I would stay up till late night making sure that my clients are able to actually implement the strategy, basically guiding them that, hey, do this, do that, do this. And that is what helped me, because people like Anand, he got like 40 clients in 3 months and got a new house, got a new car, and was able to actually help his mother out a lot. So those were some amazing results that I got by working really hard with these clients that a lot of people try to automate and productize and go for that freedom stuff too early. So that's the key lesson that I learned. And yeah, those are the 6 steps that really allowed me to launch UAbility and get my first client.